Here we have a very special piece brought in for restoration. A once impressive and beautifully crafted sculpture has certainly seen better days. This Japanese koi fish Okimono was originally made by intricately placing carved individual mother-of-pearl gills onto a wooden base. As you can see, many of those pearls have fallen off, and this koi fish is in dire need of some specialist attention. Sit back and relax as I take you through the process of restoring this unique sculpture to its former glory. By mixing fish glue with warm water, we create a solution that will support the scales that remain on the sculpture. Using a small brush, we will add a coating of glue across the body of the sculpture. Once set, we will use warm water with a paper towel and a cotton bud to clean the excess glue off the surface before it dries. Now those pieces are more secure, let's focus our attention on the stray pieces that have fallen off over time. Using a scraper carving tool and a toothbrush, we will begin by cleaning all the dirt and dust that these gills have collected. Next, let's take a look at the wooden base. It's clear that the surface of the wood has suffered from decay and requires some urgent attention. We will need to slightly adjust the base of the sculpture in order to stick the bottom stand and tail back on. This is done with a combination of carving tools and scalpels. What better cleaning solution than our very own spit? You heard us right. Human saliva contains the enzyme amylase, which is meant to break down food, but also works remarkably well for breaking down dirt and grime on an object. Now, using epoxy glue on the tail and fish glue on the wood, we will stick the base together again. Paying close attention to the size and shade of the pearls, we must match which pieces go where. Once we have given enough time for the glue to dry, the sculpture is finally in its upright position, as it was designed to be. Moving our attention to the koi's face now, we use a fish glue and water solution on the head to consolidate the flaky areas. Similar to when this sculpture was created, we must take care to intricately place each gill in its correct position to return this koi to its former glory. Now we have reattached all the remaining pieces we had in safekeeping, it is clear that many have been lost, and we will need to fabricate scales to fill in the gaps. We will use clamshells to replace the missing parts. We will need to cut and carve each piece so they fit perfectly. All great sculptures require a plinth to stand. We begin by sanding down the plinth using 180, 220 and 320 grit sandpaper. We then apply a water finish to make the grain expand, adding a little grain filler and water stain on the base. Then, adding a shellac polish to the plinth to really make it sparkle. We'll now increase the sanding using a 400 sandpaper before we reapply another coat of shellac polish. To avoid using varnish after freshly sanding the material, we will instead use steel wool. This will lift the sanding dust from the grain and burnish and shine the surface fibers. This ensures a pristine surface for perfect results with oil-based finishes. Before we mount the koi, we will add one final layer of wax on top. To correctly position the sculpture on the plinth, we will secure in pins to attach the koi fish onto. For the moment you've all been waiting for, we secure this koi carp onto the plinth. Voila! That concludes the restoration of this wonderfully crafted mother-of-pearl Japanese okimono. Thank you for watching.